I am in the OneNote for Windows 10 app. This is not OneNote 2016. This is not OneNote Online. It's the OneNote for Windows 10 app. One way I can tell this is I look at the bottom of my screen here. I have the Add section and Add Page buttons, and I have this little bookshelf icon here. And the color as well is unique to the OneNote Windows 10 app. All right, so what we're going to do is click on Draw and choose a pen. I am writing with a mouse, so bear with me as I write 3x minus 2x squared plus 1 equals y. All right, actually, I just changed my mind. I'm going to do this much simpler. X plus 3 equals y. I will show you how to fix something first. So when you choose this Lasso Tool, you want to treat it like a pencil. So as I start drawing and I turn the corner, notice I get that extra straight line in there. Just ignore that. Circle all the way around. I click the Math tool, and it did actually read it correctly. A lot of times it doesn't get the 2's right. So if you click Fix It and circle an item, it'll come up with some suggestions for what you'd like to change it to. I'll keep it as a 2 and just do Ink to Math. So there we go. Just realized after trying this a couple of times though that I want to use a simpler example. So, oops, sorry, that's the pen. I want to actually grab the equation. All right, click on Math. It read that correctly. Ink to Math, great. Now I'm going to select an action and solve. I can solve for X or solve for Y. Okay, nothing new there, nothing new. You can show the steps, and then once you show the steps, you can open that in Immersive Reader, translate it to another language, lots of fun stuff. But what I want to do that's new is generate a practice quiz. So this is new for OneNote Windows app, and by default it says 3 questions, but you can do anywhere between 1 and 20 questions. So I'm going to do a 10-question quiz. Generate the quiz. It doesn't have to actually be a quiz. It can just be for practice. And first time I did this, this didn't load, so I ended up having to go to Microsoft Forms. So you get there by going to OneDrive and then clicking in the app launcher, the little waffle on the top left corner, and choose Forms. And there's my new quiz, so I can click on it and see the content. So you can see I created one problem that had an X and a Y with one extra step in here, so it's one step to solve these equations. So it came up with similar problems. Oh, it came up with 7 rather than 10. That's interesting. Thought I selected 10, but there's a 7-question quiz with answers and the correct answer indicated. So if I go back to OneNote, I have that embedded here within OneNote. So I can now share this page to my students, or I can take this Google form and get a link to share this with students directly, and then they'll be able to click on that link and answer this question here. The way you would use this within OneNote if you didn't want to share it as a link is you'd put this in OneNote class notebook, and then you would distribute this page to all of your students. So each student would get this on their page, which is probably an advantage over doing it directly in Forms. In Forms, all you have is them checking the answers, and that is what you will see when you check on responses. You'll just see their answers. But if you do it through Class Notebook and distribute that page, then they have a place to show their work right here and also indicate the questions. So you would then be able to go look at the results here, and if you have questions about why a student performed a certain way, or you just want to see their work, you can come back to the notebook and see both their answers and the work that they did to find that correct or incorrect answer.